Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Real quick, on June 10th, we have our beer release at Hourglass in Longwood.
Yes.
The trivia starts at 6:30. We got Curtis Earth running the trivia.
Yeah, so we have good trivia. We have handcrafted beer, courtesy of our friends at Hourglass. It's Scootin' and Tootin', a me-themed beer.
Yeah, pale ale.
Yeah.
So come get your beer, stay for the trivia. We got prizes and a bunch of different stuff, all run by one of the best trivia people in town.
Exactly, Mr. Curtis Earth.
So on the line with us,
This is really cool.
I remember when I came in this morning, I was we usually go over our daily interviews.
Yeah.
And then when Sam told me who we were interviewing,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
You jumped to your feet.
Well, the name didn't register right off the bat. And then I was like, all right. And then
You've
as soon as
never been good with names.
I'm like, from Black Patrol.
He did.
I'm like, I love Joslyn Jane.
He screamed from Black Patrol, and he stood and put his arms to the
Well,
sky.
I think you referred to her as Officer Jane, and I said, do not ask her to fill out your paperwork for your boat trailer. She cannot do
It would be
that.
Officer Joslyn.
And then I immediately got nervous. So I'm like, I've been watching Jocelyn for a while.
Yeah, you have.
Anyway, so on Zoom with us, Joslyn Jane. How
You're
you doing,
so
Jocelyn?
nervous right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you there? Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
there
there.
it is.
Yeah. It's Zoom.
You embarrassed yourself,
Yeah,
Tom.
I
Zoom
did.
has to settle a bit. We were screaming because, we got nervous when we found out that you were going to be on the line. But, hey, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you giving it to us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jocelyn, I'm curious to a lot of things.
Well, we're a small business, right? Like, we have an independent podcast. We left terrestrial radio only to be pulled back into it. But a lot has changed in our business, right? Because we went from being radio guys to being podcasting guys. And you went from being a top-tier adult entertainer or adult star into basically becoming a really fine-tuned, during the pandemic,
Content creator.
are a content creating mega superstar. So you've seen your business change. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's constantly changing and constantly evolving, and you have to really be on the ball with it, and you have to just like keep creating, keep thinking what you're into, what people would like. Like, it's constantly evolving, constantly changing.
Tom and I were. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I'm curious, Jocelyn, that so you obviously you're producing these videos and they're getting insane amount of views,
And
right?
for those that don't know, because we're alluding to it because of terrestrial radio, they are spicy adult videos.
Well, yeah, they're porn videos, and they and now I know you started in 2016 or 17.
16.
16, and you work with Bang Bros, and of course I mentioned.
Bang Bros actually, that was their site. Black Patrol was their site.
Okay, gotcha.
That I was on contract with them.
Gotcha. And when you go into the adult film industry, especially around this time, like tube sites are the prevalent way that people consume this content, and we kind of went through that change from 90s into the 2000s and the internet
We
era.
saw the DVDs disappear. We saw the Blu-rays disappear. We saw everything go to streaming. Then we saw everything getting stolen. We saw copyright strikes and
so during that time, like, I know it's funny because my brother-in-law, like, I grew up in Miami too. My brother-in-law insured the Bang Bros guys, and they got stinking rich. I mean, one of them bought Miami Beach mansion from the former. What happened?
You ever been in the Bang?
No, I've never seen it. I heard about it.
It smells just as bad as you think it would.
Anyway, it was like the former Who guitarist that owned it or whatever. Anyway, so these guys are producing content, and would they sell it to the tube sites?
No, it would just, what happened was that it got stolen so much that by like, we were on contract by like the 5th or 6th episode, but we were canceled pretty quickly into our contract. I only think we shot like maybe 20 videos because at the time the producer allowed a lot of things that weren't actually allowed. So Visa just stopped processing the site.
Wow.
Is that when the guys started buying their own credit card processing companies? Because I knew that was happening behind the scene because the credit card processing companies were like, we're not touching it. Is that true?
Yeah, because we were doing shit that we weren't supposed to be doing, that the producer didn't tell us, oh yeah, by the way, you can't like point a gun on camera. We didn't know that going in.
Oh yeah. Well, of course you can do triple anal.
So kind of like Twitch content, right? There's certain rules, like you can't have weapons on, you can't do drugs on it.
Well, Jocelyn, we got flagged very early on Twitch because Tom, and it wasn't a sexual thing at all, but Tom just showed the camera. He showed a simian, like a sex device, and then we got flagged, and then we got told, oh, you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, also too, my name is flagged.
Really?
Like on YouTube. And yeah, so I know a couple podcasts who have like tried to put my name on YouTube, and it gets taken down immediately. They told me without question.
Is there something else I should call you if I want to sneak you into YouTube?
But what do you mean by rules? Like you can't point a gun on camera? Whose rules?
It was according to the credit card processors. So like Visa said it looked too forced.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they stopped processing the site.
They won't let you pay for like violence, right?
Right. Like it was a reverse.
Yeah. Well,
Jocelyn, I saw they liked it. They liked it. I saw it. I watched them all.
The other thing about Black Patrol is it looked real. Like people have asked me.
Like a live
did
PD
those guys
thing.
get tested? I'm like, yes, it was an actual set. Like, what are you talking about? So I feel like some people, when they first met me, they thought I was an actual cop. Some people still ask their friends if I'm an actual cop in the industry before they hit me up.
Does it bother you?
Hilarious.
Does it bother you?
Well, that's pretty dumb.
Does it bother you that you are a college-educated businesswoman, and smart, and that the rest of us swirling around you are asking you dumb questions like that? Like that's a weird thing. Because I was going to ask you how often you get recognized. Because some of the videos Tom and I were looking at that you have hundreds of millions of views. Do you ever get stopped on the daily?
I do and I don't. I live in Miami, so like I don't really get recognized there.
Sure.
But when I go to New York, it's crazy.
Yeah. They like the tall gals. They like the tall gal. I'm 5'2", and I like tall gals.
That, later, like it's crazy. Like New York is fun, but like it's a lot for me.
So, we were watching an interview. Sam was showing us an interview where you were talking about firing your agent. Are you doing this all on your own? And how much work is this?
Yeah, I've had agents over the years. My agent for Black Patrol was actually a recruiter. And scenes were so hard. They were so difficult to do. They were 8 to 12-hour days. They were grueling physically. Like you're in the heat in Miami in October, so it's 85 degrees outside, and you're in a house that hasn't had air conditioning for 3 years.
I was gonna ask you.
Oh my God!
There's one scene on a roof.
Do you guys have a union?
Look nice. Make it look pretty. Like. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I know, because I grew up in Miami. Like I know, like I think you were on a roof on some Bird Road. Like you were on a roof of a place. Then you were like,
absolutely, we were in Doral.
Yep, and then it's like hot as hell.
Scenes were shot. Wow, a lot of those pickup scenes were shot in Doral, and then we would do the sex part on Bang Bros' campus that they had at the time.
Okay,
that's crazy.
Area, yeah.
But now,
Jocelyn,
we got the cops called on us. 120.
The real cops.
Really?
How does that go down?
What happens when they show up? Did like
what are you doing here?
Do they try and get you for impersonating a cop?
Yeah, so they were like, okay, so we were at this we had shot in it before, so it's this random field that we're running in, like somewhere in Doral. I don't know the location. Like we drove for a couple miles and then we just took a right and we were miraculously there. And then, so we had done a pickup scene for our second scene there and everything was fine. Everybody was watching, like getting involved, but everybody was cool with it. Then we went back and a guy came out and asked if we had permits to film, which in porn you don't do.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, it's Miami. I'm surprised anybody asked
Anyone
for
has
any
permits.
Permits? I've never heard of a permit in Miami.
So this guy who I'm assuming like, because he kept having people come to his house, so I'm assuming like they were picking up something, like it was not a great area, so like maybe he was a weed boy, a dope boy, something.
Gotcha.
And he came out and asked if we had a film permit, and my producer told him, "Go fuck yourself, we're filming."
Okay.
Went back into his house and he called the cops on us, and that's when they were like, "Why are you dressed like police?" And at that point, we had already shot 5 or 6 scenes. So the dudes that were coming to shoot with us that were brand new had already seen the scenes. They knew what was going on. Like, it wasn't like it was all like kept under wraps.
Yeah.
Like, we were outside.
I'm surprised the cops didn't recognize.
Hey, I know who you are. Yeah, cops are spicy. Like.
It's actually really funny. So I actually still get nervous around cops. Like, I refuse to look them in the eye. If they like look at me too long, I like get nervous and I'll walk away. Like
PTSD from Black Patrol.
Yeah.
Did you ever get any backlash from that, like at all?
Yeah, I mean,
She's
a
like, of
little
course.
bit, not a lot, but a little bit. Like, I mean, but at the same time, it's a character that I played, right? Like, Leonardo DiCaprio in Django Unchained.
Of course,
I like that you chose Django because it's on brand.
Oh yeah.
Because it's fucking insane how many times he says that fucking word.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah. You're right. And
like, like, does that make him like a racist? No, he played a character. Let's grow up.
Yeah.
Also, I bet a lot of people don't want to admit that they've actually watched it. You know what I mean? So they won't bring it up.
I think you hit the number. I think you hit the number one nail on the head. Is that you're just not going to admit,
right? That you watched it.
That you not
I
only that you watched it, Sam, that you enjoyed
But
it.
I do like whenever I go out, and I like to go out to places alone. Like, I'll go to concerts alone. I'll go to movies alone.
Really?
I do a lot of things alone, and I always like make a friend. Like, I don't really ask questions, but I always end up like talking to the bartender or a couple that I run into or something. So I don't know if it's that they recognize me or they're just like, oh, look, this is a nice, pretty girl. We can have a nice conversation with her. Who knows? But I don't ask.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, I wonder what you have to know from living it, the psychology behind, like, okay, we all consume porn videos, right? For the most part, I'm putting a mass blame, but I'm pretty.
You have to because
I'm
so
pretty
many guys
confident.
lie.
Yeah, I don't even care.
We used to work with guys that said they never looked at any videos, and I'm like,
That's a lie.
you're an insane person.
I'll put the percentile of 99%. Okay, so 99%.
Not even like now. Like, I grew up in the '90s, and I watched a lot of music videos growing up. That's basically porn.
Yeah,
like
softcore. Yeah.
there were girls naked, half naked, covered in oil. Like, my imagination did the rest. Like, I knew what was going on.
Yeah, you're right.
But I wonder if I've seen you perform a lot, Jocelyn, and on video.
Some would say you've seen her perform
video.
the most. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying maybe I've seen all the episodes of Patrol.
He makes us call him Mr. Black Patrol.
And then a
here.
lot of MILFs, different stepmom.
You're
Just
talking
a lot.
the 2021
a good amount.
MV MILF of the year, my friend.
But I think if I saw you on the streets of Miami, I don't think it would click for whatever reason, even though I've seen your face.
It might not. Like, okay, so that's happened to me with people. Like, people don't realize who I am until after the fact.
Yeah, that would
like
probably
they're like,
be me.
wait, like this happened with me with the content creator. Like, he was like, wait, because I kept talking about Black Patrol. He was like, wait, you're the cop? He was like, I didn't realize that. And he was like, it's good that I didn't, because I probably would have nutted in 2 seconds.
Well, I didn't say that this morning, but I thought it. It was all right. So I'm curious to, like, making your transition from, okay, you work for Bang Bros
Yeah. I
and
mean, you're
this
working
production
For
company.
production companies,
for some of the biggest companies in the adult industry.
So, and then you get your name out and you're on videos that get millions and millions of views. I mean, the amount of views, I don't know if you've ever even tried to calculate it, like how many humans.
You know what? I don't really want to know. I know it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But we don't have to talk numbers.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting to me is that gives you an insane amount of power, media power. And in this day and age, like for me and Daniel, like when we started our own podcast, we started in like working for Clear Channel. So we had we were on a radio show. We got our names out, and then when we started doing our own thing, we just used the notoriety we gained
and social media
and to make our own money. So I imagine you're doing the same. In fact, you garner this huge fan base and people that liked you for one reason or the other, or liked your videos or content, and then sought you out and sought your name out. And now you can make content directly to those people, cut out the middleman, and then sell it directly to them through memberships and through personal videos.
Yeah, but is it harder?
Yeah, talk to us about that.
It's different. When I first got in, like I wasn't like sheltered, but it was like, okay, you shoot once or twice a week and that was it. But I also cammed on top of it. So it prepared me for having to deal with multiple platforms at a time. So I'm used to it. Also, like one of my very good friends is Sarah J, and she kind of took me under her wing when I first got in. I was like a year and a half in, and she really took me under her wing and taught me a lot about she's the reason why I am who I am today.
She's a legend.
There's no question.
So
he doesn't know her name, but if I show the picture, he's going to do the same thing he did this morning. He's going to stand, point to the sky. Yeah.
So I'm curious to because in podcasting, let's say we start doing a podcast. It's kind of similar to traditional medias, or we sell advertising, right? And then we have subscriptions.
Sure.
Now in your media, like I imagine there's a lot of subscription based and a lot of personal fans paying
like,
for specific videos
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah, I do private videos. I do customs. I do all that, like personalized stuff.
So the sky's the limit, really, right? Like Tom and I were talking, like if you have an empty Monday, you can go crazy, right?
Or other platforms I've been asked to be on, like Cameo, that I've thought about, but I'm probably going to wait a little bit longer. But I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's just work. You have to put in the work and the time. That's really what it is.
So you could just go as hard as you want to for like a month, and then you could coast for a minute if you wanted to.
I mean, I know girls like that. Like there are girls that do that, or there are girls that like 1 month they'll do all porn stuff, and then the next month they'll do TikTok stuff.
Gotcha.
Like it just depends on how you work, how your brain works, and what works best for you.
It's really free.
Jocelyn,
just do whatever you want.
What about some rich
but also red on the first. So
true, yeah.
Oh, true, yeah. You got to make
Be
money,
smart.
pay bills. Keeps. It's interesting to hear you say that, because you probably see, and I don't mean any disrespect in this. I'm 46, but you probably see people that get into it that don't have the smarts that you have. I mean, we know you went to college. We know you graduated.
Well, also like it. Okay, so it's two things, right? It's so I went to college. I have a college education, so I have an upper hand already, but also my dad is a private banker.
Hell yeah.
There it
So I
is.
know a lot about finances and how to manage your finances. And over the years, like I keep my mouth shut because nobody wants to hear it. But like that 18-year-old girl who just got a contract with Vixen who buys a brand new Mercedes, like I wouldn't suggest you do that, but
Right.
Sure.
Right. You
Do
mentioned
that if you want.
You mentioned your dad was a private banker, and then I watched an interview with you where you said that you didn't believe that your family knew what you did. Is that still true? Do you think they still don't know what you do, or you guys just don't talk about it?
We talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason to talk about it. I pay my own bills. I make my own money.
So they don't ask like at Thanksgiving. They're not asking like, "Hey, what have you been up to?"
Yeah, I saw your how's Black Patrol?
Well,
They do, They do, but it's a very quick response, and we just kind of move on.
I like
So
that.
it's kind of like they know, but like we're not getting into details
Well,
about
let
it.
me just
like
tell
that.
you, your dad's business partners know. I mean, I'd bet $10,000.
I would bet that they're huge
I mean,
fans.
listen, I've looked like this, and let's talk about this. So I've looked like this. I'm 32. I've looked like this since I was 12.
Oh Lord.
Like
I
body
gotcha.
wise, like
Yeah.
I haven't grown since I was literally 10.
Holy moly.
Really?
Oh my
So-
God.
It's not really a shock. Like by the time I was like 17, 18, I had 25-year-old boyfriends. Like
Oh God. I
It's
have
not-
a
I mean,
7-year-old
she's,
daughter. I'm gonna pass out.
She's well developed up
Yeah.
top.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
yeah.
sure
She's
she's
ample.
been hit on quite a bit.
Yeah, well, you are
growing
too.
up.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you saw some of that as well.
by his friends.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Dad. Oh my God.
Dad, you got to get better
Yeah,
friends.
He just has his head down in the ledger. Head in the ledger.
Listen, I've watched the video, so that's hard to blame
A
him.
funny story. So my brother got married in 2017, and my dad, one of my dad's family friends and his wife, who I've known like since I was a kid, they propositioned me for a threesome
Whoa,
Holy.
whoa!
at
How
the
did
wedding.
you?
But here's the thing. Okay. So before, like, it gets worse before it gets better. So like my brother and his wife got married on New Year's.
Whoa.
So I don't know if it was like the alcohol talking.
Uh-huh.
I know I had been drinking since 5 a.m. and it was like 2 a.m. I mean 5 p.m. and it was like 2 a.m. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but like, yeah, wild shit. I've
Well,
gone through
man.
some wild shit.
Yeah.
Well, how much?
That's a
Like
heck of a party. You could do that with your sister on New Year's, Tom.
Jocelyn, I like for when people know who you are, I'm sure they just assume that they're.
One sec, let me just tell how
Oh, okay. What happened? Uh-oh.
Can she hear us?
Are-
Oh, Postmates.
Uh-oh.
We're on
Oh,
hold.
yeah. Let's see where is she?
Don't look in
Oh
her.
my God.
Don't look in her bedroom, you
I've
sicko.
got
She's a
It's right there.
professional.
I'm not looking at her bedroom.
You
I
gotta pay
said-
for this.
Look, it's a hotel
Can
room.
you
or
zoom
better.
in?
Don't
I
zoom
can-
in on Zoom.
I can zoom
I want
in.
to see. I want to see what's on the. Oh,
Oh,
there's
she's
the
back.
bag. Okay.
oh, it's all clear. You're trying to be a snoot.
I just want to see.
We know. You got to pay for that.
So, but when people know who you are, do they just assume you're hypersexual because of what? I
good
imagine
question.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to very quickly correct them.
Yeah, I mean, you're a human being. You're not always on camera. I mean, it is
Yeah.
part of your job. But yes, there's also a part of that you probably reserve for your own private life, and that's yours. I mean, I think it's difficult. Is that a
It's so
difficult
confusing
line?
to me though because
it shouldn't
I'm
be.
like I've seen the videos.
Is it hard for fans or listeners or people that follow you to mind that, or do you find that most people are pretty cool?
It like for the most part, unless it's a convention, and then conventions are like a little bit overwhelming and
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, because everybody.
Because-
yeah.
Everybody's there. Everybody's topless. There's little people running around. There's
Well, all the fans.
tiny
Are,
taxis
Also,
there.
like Sarah. Okay, so Sarah and I talk about this all the time, and obviously, right? She's been doing this for 22 years. Like she's a legend. Like bow down. But like we were talking about it because I was like, hey, like it's a little weird when I meet a guy who's like 22 and he's been watching me since he's like 15, 16. And she was like, Jocelyn, imagine like literally being the first person that like a dude ever jacked off to. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I've
I
always
mean-
wanted to be that, Tom.
Sarah, when we've had like people go nuts, they don't know what to do, they don't know what to think. Like people start sweating. You're like, yo, she's just another human
Yeah,
being.
I wonder what
that
would
does extraordinary-
happen if the door opened in our studio and the world famous Christy Canyon walked in.
well,
That
Yeah,
was
and you guys
mine.
would
That-
fucking- you would nut your pants.
Yeah, that was mine. That was
Oh.
mine was Christy Canyon. I wonder if I would.
Because I know that she has a radio show out there.
Yeah, she has a show with I forget the name of the other person she does a show
Like
with.
that's childhood. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of emotions there.
Yeah, Tom.
like-
Tom doesn't believe in emotion.
no, well, because it's more than.
Like every other man that ever exists.
He's a motionless robot.
No, well, I agree with you, but it's more than just a celebrity because now it's not
It's
only
your most intimate moments, right?
Yeah,
There was a
You're
response.
sharing with
There
her,
was a
and she has no
response.
idea.
There was a response there, whether she knew she was involved in
Yeah.
it. She
well,
was.
think about it. There's some human connection that all these fans have with you because they've watched you during this time that you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's
it's different. There's a different level of intimacy there. Like they feel like they know you, which is fine. They don't.
Right.
But I imagine have like I bet you you have some super followers that are probably your best customers and probably have been following you since you started and have probably given you tens of thousands.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they pay attention to everything that I do, and I'm like, I didn't know you did that.
Oh, right.
Let me be a better human.
Well,
you've been picking your fingernails, like I've noted, like or something. I don't know.
Well, with every influencer, you have the hardcore followers, and those
that's your P1s,
and those hardcore followers are probably, represent a certain percentage of your total income of your business. Because you, being an influencer or a small business owner, yourself is your own content, your business, and then like those super followers are like probably the most important to your bottom line, right?
Yeah. I mean, listen, like without my followers, and I say this all the time, like without them, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be Joslyn Jane. So like, I'm very appreciative of that. And also like when I started, there were a lot of people, especially in the industry, that told me that I wasn't going to be shit and that I should give up immediately. So like, it's the fans. They're the reason why I'm here.
Well, Jocelyn, I wanted to ask you about that too, because the hard seltzer movement, the White Claw movement, right? Where White Claw became insanely popular.
On that, I don't want to. The kids have it so easy these days.
Oh yeah, they don't have to drink Old English in the
They
park.
just drink a lime White Claw.
I was drinking vodka out of water bottles when I was 15. You lost me. Kids these days have no idea how hard it was.
Well, what I'm saying is that it was just the right place at the right time and it exploded. Like, we didn't even know there was a market for it. And I'm curious in the porn and the adult film industry, because you have a particular look, Jocelyn, where you kind of, and you look like a kind of the girl next door. And I don't know, in not the stereotypical porn actress of the late 90s, early 2000s, right?
The fake-o stuff.
Where everything is like
over the top,
like hard boob,
lots
fake,
of makeup.
and then so
very plasticky, sure.
And I feel like you came around at a time where people didn't even realize there was a demand for that look, and that's what skyrocketed you to the popularity that you have now. You think that's the case?
Yeah, I think that definitely played a part. I was in the right place at the right time. I got that contract. And then what happened with Black Patrol, and the reason why it took off so much, I don't know if you guys remember this, but all of these memes of us went viral. Like, that's how a lot of my friends actually found out that I did porn. They didn't actually see my videos. They saw the memes first. And the memes are really what put us on the map. Like, it was like my friend, I met a guy recently and he was like, yo, you went viral before viral was ever a thing. And I was like, it definitely was a thing in 2016, but it was through pictures. It wasn't like a video or anything.
Sure, yeah.
Well, you went viral again because the Black Patrol memes showed up when that lady. Remember the lady cop and then the...
Yeah. Well, the real life Black Patrol.
The real life Black Patrol. You went viral
but it was with
again.
the other officers. That's the only difference.
That was that story didn't end well.
It didn't. But
I
I mean,
how did would that cause a reinsurgence of Black Patrol?
Probably.
Or the popularity of that?
I mean, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, during 2020, like when all of the Black Lives Matter thing was happening, I went viral again. Like the videos they skyrocketed. Like the views just went up. Like my friends would text me and be like, "Hey, I saw you on Pornhub today. LOL."
Interesting.
Because while we were
just racial issues in general, right?
Embroiled in it, you're kind of like, I want to stay on brand today, and I gotta, get the poison out. So when I sit down, I'm gonna be mindful. And Black Patrol matters. And I
don't know if that's it's like, at the end of the day,
is that good or bad? I don't know.
The person getting arrested is gay.
I don't know.
I don't think it matters. It's confusing. You're like, oh my god, my brain's gonna blow up. Sorry.
answer that. I can't answer that for you, but people watch it, so there's obviously a demand for it.
Yeah,
Now,
there you go.
I'm curious too, how many people have offered you like appearances? Because I'm thinking of Miami. All right, there's some rich guys that want
Black Patrol to kick the door in of your party.
Yeah, to come down, and then they pay you an insane
I
amount.
mean, hell, I would pay her to kick. Well, we probably don't have enough money, but to kick in one of our parties, to kick the door in,
and then you show up. I mean,
and then
has
everybody's
anything
like,
happened?
"Oh crap, Black Patrol's here."
I haven't really like hosted anything. I've been asked to, but there was never money involved, so I was never interested.
What about my beer release?
Really?
If you really loved me as a business partner, you would
well,
pony up the right amount of money for
out of
her
our
to kick
price
the door.
range.
She's going to kick the door in of Hourglass Brewery.
No, she's out of our price
And
range.
Black
now.
Patrol, this is a smoke out. We're smoking this place out.
It'll cost me $10,000.
Oh my God! Then they're like, on the floor, you little M word, and I'm like, I'm sorry,
Then there's some pallets involved. I've seen them all.
ma'am. You have seen them all.
I like the interrogation room
fucking
one.
pallets, man? If I never see a pallet for the rest of my life, I'll be good on that.
Oh well, Tom watches them every morning to start his
Yeah.
day. He can't
Is
start.
that
his...
why you were asking where to get free pallets around town?
No.
This guy's obsessed with Black Patrol.
Then there's the inside of U-Haul.
That's a Keem. That's different.
That's got to be hot. Anyway, so Jocelyn, so now that you're making your own content, where has your like day-to-day work schedule fallen into?
Do you just make your own schedule or what?
Yeah, I wake up and I usually go to the gym, and then after the gym I shower, do my makeup, and then usually I make content from like, I mean, it really depends, but usually like 4 to 8 or like 5 to 9, something like that. And then maybe I'll do like a live show or something. But I mean, some days I work 12 hours and then some days I work 4, it's just all.
That's great.
Yeah, so you do it when you want to. You're making your
man.
own schedule. And
It's like Uber.
Yeah.
yeah, and
But with lube, it's luber. I made that up.
and
Don't laugh. It's stupid. It's real dumb. It's real dumb.
And then it's all through some sort of pay site and port. Like I've seen some people, like everybody knows of OnlyFans.
She's got a mini-vids
Yeah.
account, and she also has her OnlyFans.
And so explain to me that, because people understand, like, okay, I subscribe to OnlyFans, but then I've seen some content creators will have like a bunch of themed videos that you could pay per like whatever you determine the video is worth, and then whatever someone's into, whatever theme it is, or whatever, costume or that kind of thing.
Like we do that for cosplay, like titty worship, like it really depends. Like it depends upon the length, how like how personal it is or isn't. But yeah, there's a whole like pay per video option.
What would you
with
say
OnlyFans, which
what
is
would you
really
say your female clientele would be?
Oh,
Hard to know.
they don't come up, like they don't talk. Yeah, they don't really talk to me. Like
Yeah. Slam hogs
I think
are
they're
A
shy.
little more respectful,
But-
probably.
yeah. So at Exotica Miami last year, I had she was a female fan come up to me, and I told her the price of my picture to sign it, and she just like gave me the money and just stared at me, and I was like,
Oh.
"Hi, what's your name?" And she like didn't talk to me. I was like, "Oh my God, like are people scared of me?" But it's
Yeah.
cool.
Her heart was breaking. She's like
Intimidating.
freaking out. Yeah, man. Now, what's the going? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think she was with her mom or something. She was with like an older woman. So I didn't
Hey,
know,
Mom,
like,
come
what
with me to
dynamic-
the
Yeah. I took my mom to,
So Jocelyn, like before, now you work for yourself, you determine when you stop or if you ever stop. And because there used to be when, like in radio or anything, you work for a media company and you never know, when you're going to get fired, and they're in charge of your career. But essentially, you can make content for the rest of your life, and you've amassed a certain amount of fans that they'll stay with you forever. I mean, maybe like even with us, we've talked about it before. Like maybe it dwindles down, but you can come in for a landing when you're 60 or whatever. Like have a normal career. Do you think about that, or you think about if you would ever stop voluntarily, because you could go on for as long as you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably at some point gonna pivot into something else, like fitness or something like that. But yeah, I mean, there's no like it's up to me, so there's no expiration date. So it's whenever I get tired.
What is the going rate or charging price for a weenie rating? Like, because guys love that, right? I've never understood. Yeah, do you get a lot of those?
Yeah, I think it's 40 or 50.
Now,
On my
are you
OnlyFans.
dead honest about it? Like, when you get one, do you sit back?
Yeah, I remember details about the penis, like.
So yeah, so you'll sit, but like, does anybody ever give you one and then write in like the notes like you would if you were ordering a sub sandwich and you wanted like less mayo? Does anybody ever write to you something like, please don't be so mean, or compliments only, or like?
So if they don't tell me to be nice, like I'm brutally honest, and if you. Yeah.
They want that, though, I'm telling you.
I know.
I watched the Pornhub documentary. They want the honesty.
It's got warts.
Some
and
of them
it's
are
disgusting,
into it.
and you're vile.
Well, I also like I'm really good at like penis humiliation, so
I didn't know.
That's a whole thing.
That's a thing.
I really make.
That's a whole like subculture and a lot of money in that.
Yeah, there is tons of money. There's always money in the banana
That I'll get
stand.
into.
Yeah.
If I'm getting.
So I'm curious, how do you keep your own private content that you sold someone off the tube sites and that kind of thing?
I have a guy who does all my takedowns.
Yeah, so they scrape the internet for you all day.
Constantly.
You got to pay a guy to do it. Yeah.
Because all those tube sites, they're all done by some bot, right? I mean, no one's curating in that con. How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. How did those come about?
So you basically you give them paperwork and you prove that it's your content that you made and created, and they'll take it down immediately.
But like those tube sites in general, how do they curate their content? Do you know anything?
I think they just grab whatever they can and then they wait for someone to like scrape it.
Exactly. There's there's people who make accounts who post it on there. And I remember when I first started like in the industry in 2016, they labeled my name incorrectly for months. And on Pornhub, and like there was no way to fix it. Like they were like, oh, you have to go in and like personally submit the video yourself and say this is Joslyn Jane. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you got to hold it like a piece of paper.
With a newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that they make you do that to like prove yourself. But
because there's no employees really. It's just all bots, right? And all like just an algorithm.
And the ones that they do have they don't have enough time to go through all of it. It goes. I'm telling you, watch that documentary.
Yeah.
It's actually really informative.
So Jocelyn, I guess the last question. I'm sure
we got to wrap it up here
because we asked this to a lot of comedians that come through here, where they'll accept a private gig at some rich person's house, right? And I imagine because of your popularity on the internet, there had to have been like a super rich person that tried to
could be a famous person
buy your time or escort,
come for a birthday party
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah. But even
bachelorette party.
But like maybe even
party.
wanting more and assume that they could just pay for it. We're super rich guys. We're like, here's $2 million.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever had some indecent proposal like that?
No, not really.
Really?
I've gotten no, not really. No, I haven't. Not yet. I mean, I've gotten like emails about Dubai, but that's
Dubai
it.
girls.
That's like the craziest I've gotten.
Yeah, Dubai.
We heard some
or
a lot
yachting.
of-
Have you ever been asked to yacht?
Yeah, but it's like they never give me money, so like I'm good on that.
Right.
Yeah.
I
like that she's all about. She's like, you got no money.
100%. Yeah.
If not, I just want to like sit in my house and watch Netflix.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna go like there. No. That's,
Well, you've heard these old like porn stars in the '90s talk about like being offered $1 million by some rich guy to sleep with them one
in
night.
the
You know,
90s, I guess.
because I just assumed that would happen. Inevitably by some dude that
It
was
probably
You're probably
it
not
probably
a mark.
happens to people that are not as
Smart,
established
yeah.
as her.
Honestly, it probably happens more often in LA, but because I live in Miami, it's not really like a thing. And also too, like in Miami, there's like 6 million bitches that look like me. So
That's what I was gonna say.
Well,
There's a
she's
lot,
also
of,
not
lot of younger and more naive that'll take less money
Yeah.
or no money just to go
Yeah.
party on a yacht.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
they'll
seem-
be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna make a TikTok on the boat. Like,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah,
go
you're
do it.
like
you're
kind of beyond that. Yeah, I get it. Well, Jocelyn, thank you so much for the time, for taking some time to talk to us. We thank our buddy Bill for setting this up. It's
Yeah.
very, very cool. If people want to check out your OnlyFans, they can just type in your name. Is that correct?
Yes, it's onlyfans.com/Joslyn Jane.
There
And then
you go.
it's officerjane.manyvids.com.
There you go.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what kind of videos recently have you done on OnlyFans? If if a listener was thinking about
Like if you were
subscribing,
going to jump on old
just like-
minivids,
If I know, so I'm
if
sure
you're
we-
going to treat yourself on a
Yeah,
Wednesday.
they like-
I have a boy, girl. I have some solo stuff, and I have a lot of boy girls.
All
Right
There you
now.
go. Yeah, Tom loves the boy girls. They call him Mr. Boy Girl.
They're interracial, Tom, so you might like them.
All
Yeah, he loves the
right.
interracial and he loves the humiliation. They call him Django Tom.
Anything with pallets? Like a
Stop
good-
with the pallets.
like
She
a
said
good-
she's done with pallets.
Good pallet and a moving blanket.
Thank you so much for your
Thanks.
time today. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Jocelyn.
That is Joslyn Jane. You can't say Jocelyn.
Yeah.
I know. I
You
don't know
kept
why.
saying Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
No. Oh, wow, that was
Jocelyn.
worse. That's a Joss.
Jocelyn?
Joss? Say
Jocelyn.
Joss.
Joss?
Olin.
Ulin.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
There you go.
Jocelyn, not Josh.
The wife was too
Man, it was
hard.
rough.
I just wanted to say Officer Jane.
I know.
That's what I know her by.
I know that is
I think she
what
would have been fine with it because that
He
promotes
kept
her
trying to say
minivids.
Officer Jane. I've never seen
And
somebody
Officer Green, her partner, the brunette. She's tougher.
Why wasn't that your first question? What happened to Officer Green? Do you still talk to her? Was she killed in the line of duty?
Yeah. Officer Green was a bitch.
Yeah, she was a real bitch.
And Officer Jane would come
Yeah,
in and
Jane was the good cop.
Yeah.
Green was the bad cop. I know how this works.
They leave the utility belt on.
Well, just in case things
never
get out of hand, you got to
know.
be able to tase him. While he...
Oh God, I forgot to ask her. I was like, I like it when they leave, when you leave the top, when
Yes.
you Porky Pig, the everything else.
Yeah, leave the blue shirt on.
Yeah. And the U-Haul.
Yeah. Oh, your hat fell off.
All right. Okay. We're never gonna be able to air this. This will be the last show. This will be the last show.
I
All right.
got it.
Bye bye.
There's only
109.
Yeah. I am.
12 things I got to cut out.
Every time she said it, I was like, I'm not even gonna remind her.
Yeah.
What is this now?
Like,
So are we just going to release this as its own show or what do you want to do here?
if
I
we
can cut it out. I wrote all the times down.
let's try to cut it out because it would be funnier to air this because
Where's
it's
it
so goddamn.
Thursday. Thursday 1 and 2.
Lord.
We're really pushing the envelope over there now.
I don't know.
I think
I don't know.
It's fine.
8 o'clock at night. Who the fuck is listening?
Thursday.
As far as the FCC, someone. That's not a thing.
Yes, I do have to edit out titty worship. That is that's one of the
yeah.
that's one of the edits. Cannot say titty.
she was
I
very
ca-
nice.
She was very nice.
I kind of, we went into the Zoom thing for the pandemic, but I honestly, we should just do a landline. Like there's no advantage because the
some there are. That
audio.
one was bad. Sometimes they're
She
not
was on
bad.
her phone, which
sometimes
kinda
they're
sucks, but-
yeah. Sometimes they're fine.
They are, but it's like all in all, better to have the clear connection than even see because I don't even look at the person.
We've had a ton of Zooms that like
I'm perfect.
are perfect, and I think the vast majority of them are going to be good. But every once in a while, you get somebody that's got an echo. It's almost if we called her and called back, we could get it
Yeah,
to
it would have been
fix.
probably been better.
Maybe
Yeah.
we should do that. That's on me. I should probably just say like, "Hey, there's a weird echo. Let's start over." But I get in my brain about that, and I don't want to do it.
Well, you want to give me an intro for this evening?
Is that it? Yes. And I jinxed it because I complimented her Wi-Fi for
Yep, as
popping
soon
in
as
so
you
fast.
said that.
I know. It was good though. It was like nobody does that. Nobody.
I'm so surprised. Well, that's also something you maybe not admit on a show that you've taken some sort of huge sum of money to sleep with some millionaire.
Nah, I believed her.
Yeah. I would just assume there'd be some rich dude that watched this, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna reach out to see if she can be an escort.
She was admitting to almost having a threesome with her brother and wife,
Yeah.
right? So if you're going to admit that, you'll admit that
Was
you
it her
slept with
brother?
just some dude.
Yes. Were you not listening?
You didn't see Sam and I's eyeballs almost fly out?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
That took a turn.
I gave her the eyebrows because I was like, because everything
I
up
didn't
to
think
that
she said
point,
brother.
it was
Yeah.
her
Her brother's
E-
wedding.
Yeah, everything up to that point was normal, just like she's
Well,
a
the
porn.
dad's friends hitting on her when she was a
that's
child
when it took the turn. That's when
yeah.
it took the turn. That's when I kept putting the camera on her so I could hang my head down and think about Maisie and just like try to cleanse myself. Brother's friend and wife? Oh, his brother's friend? I thought,
Yeah. It wasn't
no, I thought
actual
it was
brother.
her brother.
Well,
No, his brother's
Listen,
friend.
it was cutting in and out, and I
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
brother's
I heard
wedding.
her brother, and then I was
Maybe
like,
it was her brother's wedding, but it was her brother's friend at their wedding.
Yeah. It was a brother. I mean, that's
that's yuck.
That's why
Well, that's to be
we thought it
insane.
was insane.
Yeah, that's why I said
Oh,
you
yeah.
could do that with your sister. I made a joke about it.
that.
All right, are we done? We're just doing an intro?
Yeah.
Are we done recording anymore, though?
No.
No,
Okay,
you got a
guys,
meeting in like 15
I'm going to
minutes.
turn everything off, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? Thanks for